are in quarantine, so why not take this time to talk to you guys and to really just talk about stuff that we're feeling right now. And it's the perfect time for inspiration, all that good stuff. And one of my followers wanted me to talk about forgiveness and how to forgive yourself when you don't see a way to. I am still trying to figure that out for myself, because I'm definitely, this is a time where I need to forgive myself the most for a lot of things that I've done. And I'm not proud of the things I've done. I don't condone doing what I've done. I'll put it this way. Just because you've been hurt by somebody, doesn't matter how much they've hurt you, doesn't mean you need to hurt them back in return. That could be verbally, physically, whatever you choose. My choice is always verbally, because that's all I know is how to like yell and cuss and make people feel like shit when I feel like shit. And that's only when I've been severely hurt. It doesn't happen right away. It takes a long fucking time for me to do that. So if I'm doing that, just know that I'm feeling everything that you've done to me, and I've been holding on to it for so long that I just explode, and it's been a long time coming. So it's not something that's random with me. I can't speak for everybody else, but that's just, I'm sharing personal things of mine. So if you can relate to that, please let me know in the comments, like, how do you usually deal with your pain? And how have you noticed that you abuse people? And that could be emotional abuse, physical, verbal. I mean, let's just get to the nitty gritty. Like, none of us are perfect. Let's not pretend to be. That doesn't exist. Forgiveness is very hard. It's not something easy. It's not going to happen overnight. But one thing I recommend is taking the time out to recognize what you've done wrong, and then recognize where did you go wrong. Like, try to see the pattern in what you did and when you did it and how you did it and why you did it. Usually there's the same reason. Now it could happen at different times for different reasons, don't get me wrong, but usually there's a similarity somewhere in that equation, and it's up to you as an individual to find out what that common denominator is, because that's what's going to help you. So if you understand, okay, when someone abandons me, I act like this. Personally, that's mine. If I feel abandoned by somebody, or I feel like they lied to me, or they're fake, I go off. Like, I'll go the fuck off. Like, if I feel like I'm not getting the same energy in return, and I'm just exhausting everything, and they're just taking and taking, I go the fuck off, because it brings up old feelings that I've dealt with forever. Because I always feel like I'm just giving to people and they're just taking from me. And that's all I've ever known. Of course, except for people on Twitter, you know what I mean? Like, you guys who've reached out to me and have really given me genuine support. I'm not talking about y'all, you know what I mean? Like, nothing but love for y'all, seriously. Because you guys accept me unconditionally, and that's what I love about this community. Like, of course there's hate here and there. Like, we all deal with hate. But it's like, for the most part, I don't look at that. I just worry about the support and the love, because that's all I got. But yeah, like, you just have to understand that you are one person. You are human. You're not a robot. And I've said this many times before. We all have dark sides. There's no such thing as a human being who's always happy or always positive. That's not real. I don't know where this conception of humanity is just rainbows and butterflies every day and everybody is just so happy and upbeat all the time, and where is that? I've never seen that, because I don't hang around people like that. If you can't be real and you're not raw, and I can't see you break down and show the real you, I can't talk to you. Because, like, what are we talking about? What is there to say? If you're gonna be like a brick wall, how, you know what I mean? What are we gonna do? Like, how are we ever gonna get anywhere if you're a brick wall? And that's for anybody. Like, how are we ever supposed to evolve as people if we hide ourselves from each other? What is that? And that's how you have to learn to forgive yourself. You have to understand that you are one of those raw people. and you did everything to the best of your ability to give to whatever you gave to, now that be a job, relationship, yourself, whatever. Like, you're doing the best you can, so you have to forgive yourself for making mistakes, and it's inevitable. Mistakes are going to happen, and you have to make mistakes in order to grow. That's just a part of the process. I hate that part because I'm somebody that has such high expectations for myself that making mistakes is unbearable, honestly, at points. And that's why I get severely depressed, because I just want to have this certain standard of myself, and I want to be a certain way. And when I don't do that, I don't fulfill that like contract in my mind, because it's like a contract. Like, I have a policy with myself, like, Jamie, you can't be this way. Like, I can't be this evil bitch, you know what I mean? And I end up being that when I'm severely hurt, and I've done it recently. And that's why it's just, I'm able to talk to you about this, because it's raw. It's still an open wound for me, because I've done and said things that I can't take back. But it's like, it's not okay. It never will be okay. But what was done to me will never be okay either. And right now, it's just like, fuck that shit. That's how I feel. But eventually I'll learn to forgive whatever happened to me, and I will release that shit. And you will come to a point where you'll be able to forgive yourself and release that shit, because it's not going to do any good to hold on to the shit, because all it's going to do is make you cry, make you bitter, just make you stress the fuck out for no reason. Life is already stressing us the fuck out. As you can see with this virus and quarantine, we're all stressed the fuck out. So why add on to that when daily life is already doing that? And that goes hand in hand with bullying, you know what I mean? It's all the same. And you have to just learn to accept yourself. Now, that doesn't mean be an evil piece of shit. No, like, when you're hurt, you have to understand that you're going to act out according to that pain. That's not, I don't think you can ever really control that per se. I know people say that, and there are some people who can, but personally, I don't think I can. Now, I can learn different methods of handling it, but I don't think I'll ever be able to not react to pain. That's just, I'm very emotional. So if you're like that too, don't beat yourself up. It's just how you're built. And maybe you can find ways of not reacting, but I don't know. For me right now, I don't see that happening. But for you, by all means, you do whatever you have to do. And if you find a way, please share it with me, because I don't have that answer. That's one I cannot help with, because I don't know what the fuck to do with that right now. But because I react like a motherfucker, okay? So it's like, if you do something, I'm not gonna pop off right away. Yeah, like, take it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour, whatever you have to fucking do, because it's your life. You live according to you. You don't worry about what these other fucking people are doing, because you can't go according to that. Y'all are not built the same way. We're not the same person. So you can't be like, oh, well, so-and-so deals with their problems like this. Like, I can only give you suggestions based on my experience. That doesn't mean that you have to take this and do exactly what I'm saying, but apply it, as I say, apply it to your life as you see fit. And that's one thing I will always advocate on this channel. Do what makes you feel good about yourself. Now, I can try my best to help you, but how you apply it is your choice, and that's your human right. You have that right to do whatever you want, and that's the only thing you can do. Nobody can take that away. Whatever you want to do in life, you do it. That's what you're here for. That's the whole purpose of being here, is to do what you want to do. I hope that helps you. And if you just find yourself being so confused and so hurt and just lost, find your way to my DMs. Literally, come to my IG, come to my Twitter, and I will try my best to talk to you and help you and get you through this stupid shit. You know, you don't have to be by yourself. I don't want anybody to be by themselves. So if you need somebody, I can be that person. Okay? Now you do what you can, okay? Don't rush the process. Take your time, feel everything, analyze everything, write it down if you want to, document those emotions and triggers. Knowing your triggers is a big part of forgiving yourself, because then you'll be able to understand, okay, I can prevent this from happening because I know how to be careful about it. You know what I mean? Of course, people are going to do and say things to you. You have no control over what they do, but you do have control over how it affects you and to what length it affects you. And that's what I mean. Like, if you can not react to people, do that. But if you do react, it's fine. It doesn't make you any less of a person. Don't get mad at yourself like I do. Don't beat yourself down to the ground, because that's no point. Just understand that it's one day at a time. It's a process. None of this is fucking easy. None of this, we don't have a goddamn guidebook to be like, oh, how not to be a piece of shit in life. Like, you know what I mean? That's just not how it goes. So, and that's fine. But that's what makes the journey even more interesting, because you never know what's going to happen. And that could be good and bad. But that's life. And we just have to take it with a grain of salt sometimes. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. And like I said, reach out to me at any time. Doesn't matter when. And you know where to find me. So I love you guys very much. And I always will. You know, you can always understand that I got your back when nobody else does. Okay? So take care of yourself.
I know you're somewhere.